back to the SS Football channel, and today we are back with a match preview for the Manchester United versus Arsenal game. Huge game for Manchester United, obviously playing the league leaders. But before we get into the preview, we do have a watch along, and that will be at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Kickoff is at 4:30. So yeah, be there or be square, I guess. So, preview. As I just mentioned, Arsenal are top of the league. They're a pretty good footballing side, aren't they? I mean, I don't think anyone really expected Arsenal to be this good this season. But Mikel Arteta and that group of Arsenal players deserve a lot of credit because they have been fantastic. They really, really have been. And they do deserve to be top of the league. Obviously, we currently sit in 4th. Now, this league table is a live league table. As it stands, Newcastle are playing their game against Crystal Palace right now. So as of right now, that game is 0-0. So that's why Newcastle are above us. However, that could change. That could change midway through this preview, theoretically. So we'll see how it goes, that sort of thing. But second, third / 4th in the league. We're close by. We're not a million miles away from Arsenal. What is it? 8 points in it. Although they do have a game in hand to extend that lead from 8 to 11. Fingers crossed they don't do that. That being said, we're not in the title race anyway. So, when we're looking at obviously Manchester United's last game, it's funny I mentioned Newcastle and Crystal Palace and the game they're playing because we obviously played Crystal Palace in our last game, drawing 1-1 with them. I'm all over the place right now. So yeah, we drew 1-1 with them. Bruno Fernandes scored a very good goal in the first half. A lovely place finish after a great run from, I believe, was it Ericsson? And then we had that free kick, that wonderful free kick by Michael Elise in the very, very last minute of the game. That equalised for Palace in a game which they didn't really deserve anything from. United were the better team throughout, and United really should have seen got the game won and dealt with. But we didn't, and Crystal Palace made us pay for that with that one moment of magic from Michael Elise. The last time we played Arsenal, however, it was a little bit more positive. We beat them 3-1. Antony scoring on his debut for Manchester United. Bukayo Saka did equalise in the 60th minute, so 15 minutes after half-time. However, it didn't take long for Marcus Rashford to step up. 6 minutes later, he scored his first and the United second to give United the lead in the 66th minute. And then 9 minutes later, he finished the scoring by scoring a second and a United third, winning the game 3-1. And in that game, United, we sat back, we defended well, and we played on the counter-attack. We played in transitions. We didn't let Arsenal play through us. Well, Arsenal were unlucky that day because they had a goal disallowed unfairly, and they were without Thomas Partey, who is such a key player for them. But I do think Manchester United deserved to win that game. Well, yeah, like I say, Arsenal were unlucky, and on another day they could have beat us. I don't think you can say they should have beat us. Which gives me a lot of credit, a lot of positivity coming into this game that, you know what, we can actually beat them, even though we are missing a few key players. But before we look at Manchester United's key players that are missing, let's look at Arsenal. Now, Arsenal, they will play a 4-2-3-1. They are missing Mohamed Elneny, Reece Nelson, but most importantly, Gabriel Jesus. Elneny and Nelson, they're squad players, so they're not real misses. Gabriel Jesus, however, he is their first choice striker. Obviously, Eddie Nketiah has stepped up, and he is playing well at the moment, Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah is not Gabriel Jesus, though. As much as I like Eddie Nketiah, and I think he's a decent player, they're not the same. And it is a real miss for Arsenal to be losing such a player like Gabriel Jesus. So good in link up, so good in front of goal. And he just connects so well with the rest of his team. I think he is a big, big miss for Arsenal. But like I say, Eddie Nketiah has stepped up since that injury and he is performing very, very well. When it comes to Manchester United team news, unfortunately, we do have quite a few players not ready. So, Jadon Sancho, again, he's been in training. Doesn't look like he will be available for today. Diogo Dalot and Anthony Martial, and they haven't travelled as far as any we are aware, or as I am aware. Martial and Diogo Dalot have not travelled with the squad, so they won't be available and part of the game. Casemiro, of course, got booked against Crystal Palace, and as such will not be available for selection due to suspension. Big miss Casemiro because he's such an important player. Like I was mentioning about Thomas Partey for Arsenal in the first game of the season between us and Arsenal. Big player missing. Again, big player missing for Manchester United instead this time with Casemiro being out. And of course we know about Donny van de Beek. He's gone for the rest of the season, unfortunately. Now, again, like I did for the Man City game, a lot of people on the socials, you're talking your Facebook, not your Facebook, you're talking Twitter. I've been doing combined 11s for both these teams, and I thought it would be rude not to do one myself. So that's what I've done. So this is my Manchester United versus Arsenal combined 11. Now, I'll preface this by saying this is with players that are available for this game. So, Gabriel Jesus, not available to be picked. Casemiro, not eligible to be picked because they're not available. That being said, this is the team. So, David De Gea in goal. I was very close to putting Ramsdale in, but I think David De Gea is having a good season. And I'm a Man United fan. I'm a biased Man United fan. So, I want to get as many Man United players in this as possible. So I have gone for David De Gea. If someone said Ramsdale, I'm not going to argue with him. Ben White makes that right back spot his own. Diogo Dalot isn't available. Wan-Bissaka is playing fantastically at the moment, but Ben White's been absolutely outrageous at right back this year. He's been so good there. So deservingly gets the spot at right back. William Saliba being one of the best centre backs in the Premier League this season. He lines up alongside Lisandro Martinez, who, for all of the stick and kind of abuse he got at the start of the season for his height or lack of, he's been absolutely outstanding there. And I'm so happy we've got him. Would I take Gabriel instead of Lisandro Martinez? Not a chance in hell. So in we go with Lisandro Martinez, and Luke Shaw is the left back. I really like Zinchenko, but he's not Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw for me is the best left back in the Premier League, arguably the world. He is so good, but Luke Shaw, so good. He's great. He's boss. He's my left back in this combined 11. Now, Thomas Partey makes that midfield kind of number 6 role in the Casemiro role, and I suppose the role he plays in the Arsenal team, because both Man United and Arsenal both play a fairly similar system in which they like the fullbacks will come in and invert, and you have one player, Casemiro, Thomas Partey, who will sit, whereas the other midfielder, Christian Eriksen or Granit Xhaka, will push forward. And Thomas Partey, with especially now Casemiro, I probably would have put in Casemiro if he was available to be selected, because he's not. Partey walks into that role, and there's not much debate at all. Eriksen, it was either him or Granit Xhaka. In an ideal world, maybe you stick an Odegaard in there, but I like to try and keep them in the same positions, and given that Odegaard has always played that number 10 role, it was either him or Bruno for me. And that the left-sided central midfielder in the 4-2-3-1 is Eriksen or Granit Xhaka. Both of them had fantastic seasons. I find it hard to look past Christian Eriksen. I think he's been really good in every game he's played for United. 7 Premier League assists this season. Second highest in the league. He deserves a bit of recognition. So that's why I've put him in there. The front line, like I said, it was Martin Odegaard or Bruno Fernandes. So close to putting either or in. Again, if you went for Bruno, if you went for Odegaard, I'm not going to complain because both of them have had superb seasons. Again, I'm a biased Man United fan. I love Bruno Fernandes, so I've put him in. But if you wanted to put in Martin Odegaard, I wouldn't complain. The wings, it's fairly self-explanatory. It's very straightforward. It's Bukayo Saka and it's Gabriel Martinelli. There's absolutely no doubts about that. The only doubt would be are you able to play Rashford up top? Because I've put Rashford up top, and I think if you are saying Rashford can play as a striker, well then I think he walks in. I don't think Nketiah has had a better season than Rashford. I definitely wouldn't take Nketiah over Rashford. If Martial was fit, you'd probably put Martial up top. Obviously Gabriel Jesus the same, which would then kind of create a question mark about your left wing spot over Martinelli or Rashford, but Bukayo Saka is an easy one. But yeah, so that's my combined 11. Now, before we get into my prediction for how Erik ten Hag is going to line us up tomorrow, please do hit that like button and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And please do share the stream on your socials and on any other platform and with any other people. It really is greatly appreciated. So, this is the team I think Erik ten Hag will go with today or tomorrow. Same back four as we've seen for the last few weeks. Dalot obviously not being available makes the right back spot very simple. Varane and Lisandro Martinez has been a formidable partnership all season long. So you've got to keep those in there. And then Luke Shaw at left back. He's boss, isn't he? He's just so good there. You can't not go with Luke Shaw. I think he will go with McTominay and Fred. And I think we're going to see a semi-similar kind of game plan to what we did against Manchester City. And that's why I've gone for more or less the same team that we played against Manchester City. Apart from Malassi comes out for Martinez. And Casemiro has to come out because he's suspended. And McTominay goes in there instead of him. And obviously Weghorst starts over Anthony Martial. And like I said, I think the first hour is going to be stopping Arsenal, not letting them have it their way, just trying to hold them back, and then last half an hour we can bring on. He's going to bring on like Garnacho, Anthony, and go for the game a little bit more, like I said, like we did against Manchester City, which I don't think is a bad tactic at all, because we know how strong Arsenal are. They are top of the league for a reason. This is the team I would play, however. I, personally, would like to see us just go for it a little bit. Obviously, you've in a way, you've got to be smart and you've got to be calculated. However, I would like to see us kind of set up how we did against Arsenal the first time we played them this season when we beat them 3-1. Same sort of game plan, of course. But be quick in the transitions, quick on the counter. If Sancho was available, I would have Sancho on the left, but he's not, so it's going to be Garnacho, and I would say just go for the game. Be cautious at times, but I think we can win this game. I really do. So yeah, so my team would be De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, McTominay, and Eriksen. They bossed Arsenal's midfield at Old Trafford. They can do it again at the Emirates. And then it's Anthony, Bruno, Garnacho, and Marcus Rashford. Now, just quickly on the game, it's a must win for Arsenal because they need to keep extending that lead at the top of the table. They really cannot afford to be dropping points. While there is a gap there, the fact that they have to play Manchester City twice is going to be a worry for them. So they need to win this game. Kind of, go 8 points clear of Manchester City at the top. Meaning, even if they do lose their 2 games to Manchester City, well, they've still got that 2-point gap plus whatever. Like if Man City drop more points and they don't, sort of thing. So Arsenal needs to win it for that sake, and of course Manchester United needs to win it. We want to kind of do the best we can at keeping pace with Manchester City. We want to do the best we can to not just go back above Newcastle, but stay above Newcastle. So a win is massively important. At the same time, I think both teams would be happy with a draw, which I think this game will be very, very interesting. And yeah, I mean, there's not much to really say about Arsenal. We know how good they are. They are going to be a team they're going to dominate the game. United just have to try and silence that crowd early on. Kind of make no silly mistakes, nothing stupid. Make sure we're in the game come the 60th minute, come the 70th minute, and then we can probably go. Then theoretically, you've got something to then go win. Don't lose the game in the first 20 minutes trying to win it too early. Let Arsenal do that, but don't be the ones to lose the game early on because you've got overexcited and you tried to win the game too early. It's a really exciting game. I will be there watching it. And look, I said it in my Premier League preview. Man United will win this game. Man United will win this game. I'm going 2-1 Manchester United win. Boom. Now, if you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And like I said, please do tune in for the watch along. Details just there. Kickoff is at 4:30, meaning the stream will start at 4 o'clock, where we'll go through the lineups, just a kind of whole pre-match chat. So it's always a bit of fun. So please do tune in for that. Anyway, like I said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one in a bit. Peace.